Hey, yo, what up? Welcome to Sequential Geek. This be comic book haul 69, part 62. Thanks for hitting me up. Hey, like I always say, if you're new to comic book collecting, get off YouTube. If you're new to comics, it's so much speculation and shill city and just people following top tens that are just manufactured, and it's something I'd love to have some feedback on and leave me a comment. But yeah, if you're new to comics, seriously, you're wasting your time on YouTube. It used to be helpful learning about certain info. There's some great interviews on here, but overall, most of YouTube, the search results are run by shills. If you are returning, let me know what you think of my channel, because this channel is my third time returning to collecting, which I'm actually winding down. This third phase of collecting, which has mainly been a mixture of collecting and a lot of speculating. So I'd appreciate your feedback if you're a returning collector. And if you're a subscriber, much props. Thanks for hitting me up. Thanks for returning. I appreciate your support. Let's get on with the haul, y'all. There is this antique shop in Depot Town. They've got a rack of comics, a spinner rack out front, and in the back in the corner under some records, they got a bunch of long boxes. So I found these really cool Larry Gonnick comic books, the cartoon History of the Universe. The first issue came out in like 1978, I think, and then the first 6 came out by like 1984 or something like that, and then the last one is 1992, issue 9. The last 2 came out around 91, 92. So just to give you a timeline, because that's what I do on my channel. I geek out like that, and I geek out on shit like this because it is not just like superheroes or mystery, crime. We're using comic books as like a documentary format, right? So our platform for learning. And Larry Gonnick wrote and drew all these. This one is from 1980. And I found some nice ones that I'm going to bag and board, but these are my reader copy ones. This one already had some spine ticks. I already read this one, which is just so fucking cool. We're talking about Greece. We're talking about how, I guess, like, there was this like mini dark age around 1200. I think the Trojan War happened around 1500 BC. And I found through a documentary I saw on YouTube, just the access to tin was cut off from Afghanistan and India. So around that time, people couldn't make bronze. They couldn't mix it with copper and make bronze. So it took a while, but iron was plentiful in Greece and the Sparta area. And they figured out how to eventually make some type of steel out of it. And had their hoplite army. And it's just fucking dope. So they had their spear tips and swords made of this like steel, and you had everything else was like this bronze that they had. So yeah, eventually they learned how to organize. This one guy, like Kyrgos, created the sets of rules, traditions with Greece that are a combination of these peoples that came from Ionia, populated the Aegean, and then eventually people, I guess around that dark age, that were from like Mycenae, northern part of Greece, and then their cultures mixed. They came down, and Greece was formed. People had to compete with wrestling and running and javelin throwing in the nude. The best ones went to the first Olympics, which was 76. All right, so I just love all this type of information. Reinforces documentaries that I see, and got a couple reader copies here. River Realms is the one I'm going to read next. This is issue 3. And just check out some of this artwork as well. Fuck yeah. Babylon. I can go on about this for a while. By the way, this is more like turn of the century, around 2001, 2000, Age of Bronze. Now we're talking Eric Schanauer's Eisner Award-winning comic book that it's like a maxi series about the Trojan War. So we're talking like historical fiction, right? Beautiful artwork, attention to detail. Like for a movie, it'd be like costume design, right? Setting, cinematography. All right, so that's from Image. This is published by Ripoff Press, by the way, out of San Francisco. These I want to bag and board. Issue 6. Who are the Athenians? Check it out. Issue 1. 1978. First printing. And issue 2. And Larry Gonnick's issue 7, which I believe came out in 1984. All right, check this out. So just found this out. So these two, issues 1 and 2, first prints, right? Regular comic book, paper stock. And if you see deluxe edition, if you're a collector of these cartoon history comic books, deluxe edition is like a second printing, essentially. FYI. Yeah, check this out. So this third time, me returning, collecting, found out about this comic book series called Brotherman, right? So here we got the first issue to find just alone by itself, first printing. To find that issue by itself, it used to be easy, even to find it for like $30, but lately you can find it in sets as a first print, but it's expensive. As well, the last 3 issues have become really difficult to find. Brotherman ran for a total of 11 issues. So now, with this issue 11 here on the right, I got doubles of issues 1 through 11. I got like, I don't know, I ended up with 5 copies of issue 10. This is like my 5th copy, I think. It came as a set, these two together, and I was just psyched to finally get them. This came out, started in 1990. So the first 2 issues came out in 1990. In April of 1990, when the first issue came out, these brothers, the Sims brothers, the artist of which, David Sims, he changed his name to Dawud Anyabwile, and I featured him in past comic book hauls. And if you look up Dawud Anyabwile, he's pretty responsive on Instagram. He's got a channel on YouTube where he mixes some music. If you hit him up, pretty sure eventually you'll hear from him. And his brother, Jason, handled the distribution, production, and Guy Sims is the writer. And it's this world where everyone is African-American, everyone's black, and big city is where this universe takes place. They even made a virtual map, I think around the year 2012, as a matter of fact, in collaboration with this one university in New England, of Big City. So there is some style that's like similar to graffiti. I wasn't sure about that, but in an earlier interview, Dawud Anyabwile had confirmed that. And this was initially supposed to be just a one-off promotion when they went to a Black Business Expo in New York City in April 1990. The comic was such a hit, this magazine-sized format, that they just kept producing them. When is this? 1994, June 1994, published by Big City Comics. And the last issue is July 1996. Their mother had passed away, and they each kind of went their own separate ways. So this series ended right here with issue 11, which is really difficult to find. So I was psyched to finally accomplish one of my goals, which was to get doubles of this Brotherman run. So this guy, Brotherman, he's a lawyer during the day and just fights crime at night. He's got no superpowers except for discipline. All right, moving into the 90s, check this out. Colonial Marines, Aliens, issue number 9. This is April 1994. This issue is like 9 of 10. So this originally was supposed to be 12 issues. So this came out monthly. This cover is by Joe Phillips. That overuse of that alien jelly, even though it can be used like a sex drug, and drug companies have used it to try and create a super soldier serum, shit like that, but it'll morph your body if you just use it excessively over long periods of time, make you super freaky. So yeah, check out this Joe Phillips cover for issue number 9. So one more issue to go and I'll have a complete set of Colonial Marines. Issue 6 is the first appearance of Herc Mondo. It's like mercenary. And then I think a previous issue to that, you've got the first appearance of the like aqua version of Xenomorphs, water version of Xenomorphs. And then I think the first couple issues are the first appearance of the sister of that butch Colonial Marine from the movie Aliens, the second one from '86, her sister. All right, Colonial Marines from the 90s, Dark Horse Comics. Next up, 1999, Spawn. Check it out, the Dark Ages. Pretty cool. I like this cover. This cover is actually by Liam Sharp. So this is September 1999. I've already showed this off as the newsstand that I have. I think I had like a few issues of this. This ran for a total of 28 monthly issues. Let's check out the interiors. Cover and interiors are done by Liam Sharp. It was Steve Niles that took over with Ashley Wood doing the art as of issue 15. So, let's just take a look at a few pages here. Your Spawn, the Dark Ages. So yeah, I'm digging it. Check out that Angela. Whoa. Kind of reminds me of Frank Miller for a minute there. Let's move forward into that new Marvel era goodness that I'd be talking about now, right? That turn of the century, 2000, 2005, new Marvel. I like to get this whole run. I think it's like 15 issues. And, you know, he invented Madman, but it was originally like a Frank Einstein was the character. Creatures of the Id in December 1989 was the first appearance of Frank Einstein. There was this 4-issue limited series called Graphic Musique, but then there was a Madman limited series that was 3 issues in 1992. That's the one that's really like the first appearance of the Madman that we all know and love, Frank Einstein. So he makes appearances in this brand label, AAA Pop, that Mike Allred started, and he's writing and illustrating these really nifty, zany, just like really cool turn of the century comics that were once again taking those superhero concepts, just, I don't know, just taking them out of bounds, having fun with them. I know other people were doing stuff like that, but it just, I don't know, for me, like the gears were clicking on a lot of levels with different publishers all at the same time. A lot of people's fruits of their labor were coming to the surface here. All right, so check this out. That is so cool. Around this time, so I was following Madman and AAA Pop for a minute, and then all of a sudden, I'm seeing this comic book, X-Force by Marvel, the first comic book to drop the comics code by Marvel, issue 116, that's got this all red artwork on the cover. So that's one of the artists here. It's one of the comics that got me back into collecting and started getting me to spend money on Marvel comics again. The Atomics. As I was spending money on comics again, that turn of the century, really cool concepts. This ended up getting canceled because of 9/11. This is a terrorist cell that call themselves Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, but they're not related to Magneto. And I'm trying to finish off this run. So I'm just showing off how far I've gotten. This started in July 2001, and Bill Sienkiewicz does the covers of the first 3 issues. There's only one comic that has a B cover, and that's issue number 2 here by J.G. Jones. So Howard Mackey writes all 9 issues. I love this. Revolution, not evolution. Right? Too many people just say, oh, it's genetics. Fuck that. So Howard Mackey goes by the ID of X. Assad Ribic. He's from the Dalmatian coast. Assad Ribic, he is the artist of the first 3 issues. And the first issue's got the first appearance of this guy called Orwell. He is telepathic, telekinetic. That's his first appearance. First appearance of Marvin Hoffman is in this. He's the founder of this Brotherhood of Mutants, but they're not all like banded together, so to speak, because there's this one dude named Marshall that shows up in the second issue, and he's using Orwell to spy on the founder, Marvin Hoffman. You've got this one guy named Michael Asher, and he can ignite blood cells. And yet there's another guy just called Oswald, who's a pyrokinetic. It's all their first appearances here in issue number 1, as well as Fagin, this spike-covered mutie. Howard Mackey joint. Check it out. G.G. Jones cover. Glenn Fabry does the covers for issues 4, 5, and 6. And 7, 8, 9 are cover work and illustrated by Sean Phillips. Dupe appears in issue number 9, so still looking out for a reader copy of that. It's the thing with reader copies. You got people like me that are just trying to finish off a run so that we can then just read it all together. So we're looking for those dollar bins. So people want those beat up copies. You might not get the money that you want for it, but a lot of ads in these comics. Jesus, it's pretty much the right page here. It's going to be all ads. Next up, moving ahead a little bit in time. Simon Dark's another run I'm trying to finish. Check this out. Steve Niles, the creator, stuck it out with the artist here. Cover artist, interior artist, Scott Hampton. These are all my reader copies. Issue 1 is the only one that has a B cover, by the way. What is this? Issue number 2. So, first appearance of Simon Dark is in issue number 1. I love how Scott Hampton, the artist, teamed up with Steve Niles, the writer, right? Your 30 Days of Night creator. They teamed up every single issue. This was supposed to be ongoing, but it lasted 18 issues. Cover artist is the same as the interior. This is pretty dope. So, talking 2007, 2009, 18 issues. Simon Dark was created by this scientist that used this occult black magic to bring this Frankenstein combination of 20 boys to life. Yeah, he ends up protecting this hood of Gotham called the Village. And he may start off amnesiac. Can't remember who the fuck he is, but he ends up becoming this monitor of mystic activity throughout Gotham. And he can change his face, but I think generally all the faces are around the age of 18. He can speak to the dead, bring the dead back. He's pretty much, he can't be stopped by conventional means, bullets, knives, and guy's like super strong, really fast. But I just think there's a lot to this character, more than what you would think. So the combination of like Frankenstein monster with like Freddy Krueger and the Crow and the whole like Leatherface look, it's just great idea. Combination of science with mysticism. It's just a great combination, just like how Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, they all are a combination of these past iconic, classic, timeless aspects of storytelling. It's a lot of ideas that George Lucas based Star Wars upon. These like timeless, iconic, classic cultural aspects that we all share in lore, legends throughout time. Things that lasted throughout time for a reason, right? So you're doing that from a modern day aspect with all those like horror movie, these crazy horror movie type icons, coming up with something like Simon Dark. I think there's lots of potential with this character. Issue 7, issue 8, issue number 9. He's got these familiars I've included in these stories here. Covers still by Scott Hampton. Pretty fucking dope. And to wrap up this haul, we're gonna go modern. Check it out. Totally switching gears now. Millar, you know, when he was working on Logan, Old Man Logan, that Old Man Logan story was in 2008. It's around the same time as this. So these are like the last two creations, contributions to Marvel from the great Mark Millar. Let's check this out. Issue 554, Mark Millar, his claim to fame, right? Working on the Authority, Brian Hitch, and then the Ultimates. Both of those titles got me back into reading comics. And now we're talking just the end of the era. Definitely, at this point, it's pretty much over with, that whole new Marvel renaissance. At this point, Disney has bought Marvel. We're talking 2008, and the tragedy has begun. Brian Hitch did the artwork from issue 554 until issue 569, with Mark Millar doing the writing. This starts off, I think, some old college girlfriend, some old flame of Reed Richards contacts him, hits him up. She's creating this alternate Earth. Don't know, haven't read these yet, but I figured, I think it was T6 that hit me up. Shout out to 666. He had hit me up with one of the issues here. It might be the one that is 558, maybe? The one that has the first cameo of Old Man Logan. So I've got that, that's in direct, and I got these two direct. So I'm gonna see if I can get a whole direct edition run of this Mark Millar, Brian Hitch story arcs over at Marvel 2008. And that's my haul, y'all. Thanks a lot for visiting, and let me know what you think. I got a variety of goods here. Just been having some fun checking out, and runs, comic book runs, that's what we're talking about here. Finishing off runs, trying to get some complete sets. Thank God I finished that off here with Brotherman. So thanks a lot for joining me for this haul. Much love. Keep on reading comics, keep on collecting. Peace.